welcome back to Life Enrichment with Hank Ballinger. Today we want to talk about what kind of an actor are you? Now before we get into that, I would like to say thank you again to all those who subscribe to the channel. If you can, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, we'd really appreciate it. Encourage others to watch our podcasts, our videos. Our whole goal, again, is to help people and encourage them to set goals and to push hard to accomplish those goals. Because whatever you set goals to accomplish in life and to achieve, it may help others make their life easier or help them to encourage them to set goals also in their lives and accomplish their goals. Everyone needs to accomplish the goals and the things that they need to do in life. So for that, we appreciate you being there. Now, also, before we get into this, I would like to say, hats off, kudos to my sister. I won't give her name here, but she was the one who gave me the idea for this video. So I do appreciate that very much. And she sent this quote: "Acting broke is how you get rich. Acting rich is how you go broke." Now, there's a lot of truth in that. A lot of truth. You've probably seen people that, man, they look really good. They look really good on the surface. They've got all the right clothes on. Their hair's just right. They look like they got the command performance look. They wear all the right jewelry, drive the right car, live in the right house, right neighborhood. Everything looks good. But then when you get to talking to them, they're always broke, always strapped for cash, always wondering, well, I need more money. I need more money. Well, that's interesting. In this book, and I want to give a lot of credit to the people who wrote The Millionaire Next Door. Great book, great book. I encourage everybody to read that book. I think it's in this book. I've read several, and it's been several years since I've read The Millionaire Next Door. But I think they give the illustration of this. Okay, two guys come out of their homes in a very similar neighborhood. So you're looking at these guys, one on the right, one on the left. You look, and the guy on the right looks very similar to the guy on the left. Their houses, very similar. Their cars, not so much. Because this guy on the right, his car is the new Mercedes, or the Mercedes-Benz, or the Volvo, or some fancy car. But the guy on the left, he's kind of got a little bit of a beater. You know what a beater is? It's one of those cars you can buy for a few $100s, maybe now a few $1,000s. And it's not a great car, but it'll get you from A to B. Not a great car. And then you get to looking closer at the guys, and you realize the guy on the right, he's got on a Rolex watch. He's got his hair. He gets a haircut from down there where it cost him about $75 for a haircut. This guy over here on the left, he gets a haircut down where it cost him about $10. He doesn't wear a Rolex. He wears maybe like an Iron Man. It happens. So you're looking at these guys, and you look at their clothes. This guy, he's wearing the clothes that his clothes cost $500, and he looks like he's just maybe going out for maybe tea somewhere. You look at the guy on the left, and he's just got common clothes. He could go to town. He's not going to be filthy or anything, but nobody's going to look at him and say, well, he's a command performance guy. So you look at the two guys and you say, well, this one on the right, he has got to be wealthy. And this one on the left, probably not so much. And you come to find out just the opposite is true. This one, he wants everybody to assume he's wealthy. He is living in the maxed out house he can live in, and he's making payments that he really can't afford. He is just living as tight as a banjo string. If he had a washing machine tear down, or if he had a car problems, he can't afford it unless he puts it on the credit card. But this guy over here, he's got money. He's got money. If his car tears up, he takes it to the mechanic, he gets it fixed, he pays them. His washing machine tears up, he goes and gets another one. See, this guy can afford it, and his house is a very, very small percentage of his annual income. So this guy is wealthy, this guy is broke, but on the surface, this guy would look like he's doing much better than the guy on the left. So when you look at people, you've got to realize, what kind of an actor are they? Are they a broke person acting rich, or are they a rich person possibly acting broke? Interesting question. Now, some people have to act, they love to act rich. They love to go to these big parties, you know, and look here, their house is too big. It's just too big, and for their income, that house payment is just wearing them out. They can't afford it, but every month they make that, and they barely make it. They barely scraped enough money together. We've gotten by one more month. Maybe next month we can make it again. They're driving new cars that they can't afford. And if something happened, that car may be repossessed. And that car, a lot of times, is probably leased, so they don't even own their car. Maybe their house is even a rental, but it's a kind of at the top of the line. They're renting at the max that they can. They go on lavish vacations. You're not going to see them just going to a very, very small place on vacation. They're going to go to the big places. You're not going to see them do a staycation, you know, the people that stay home on their vacation, maybe do some work around the home, maybe just relax for a week. That's not them. They're going to go on these big vacation cruises, going to these big exotic places, spending a lot of money on hotels, food. That's the way they do it, on the credit card. They buy the Rolex watches and the diamonds on the credit card. And they have parties, and they invite those people that they would like to impress. Odd thing about that is, a lot of times when they have those parties, all those people they invite and try to impress, those people are doing the very same thing they are. They're just trying to impress somebody. They don't have money. They're just trying to impress. And they have those parties on the credit card. Now, the credit cards, they have galore. They have all kinds of them, 5, 10, maybe have the 10, 8 are maxed out. They're making maximum payments. But if they ever miss a payment, that interest rate goes crazy high. Now, that payment that you barely made last week or last month, you can't make this month. And then when another one defaults, you default on another credit card, that interest rate goes up. And then you default on another one, and that interest rate goes up. Then you're in a doom loop. Now you can't get ahead of them because the interest rates are so high, it will take you 25, 30 years to pay those credit cards off. That's if you don't put anything else on them. That's not their lifestyle. They generally just keep on and on and on. See, to become redneck rich, your income is here. Your standard of living is down here somewhere. That's including everything. Your credit cards and everything, you live down here. See, what a lot of people in America do, their income is here. Their expenses are here, but that only includes their house payments, taxes, insurance, their car payments, taxes, insurance, maybe gas. But then when they go on vacation, credit card. When they buy nice jewelry, credit card. When they go to the movies, credit card. When they have Christmas, credit card. You see what they're doing? They're living beyond their means. Every month they're getting further in debt. That will kill you. They are a broke person trying to act rich. Now, it's a good lesson right here. You shouldn't try to impress anyone except your banker. And only your banker, when they see your account balance and they look at your account balance and say, wow. Now, you don't have to go bragging about that, but if you impress your banker, well, then you're doing pretty good. So you've got this bank account, you're putting money in, and that thing starts getting bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger. You don't raise your standard of living way up and start living above your means. You keep your standard of living down below. Now, as you raise your income and your means, you can raise your standard of living. But always it's got to stay below your income. That's just basic math. You can humbly build wealth. You don't have to be a show. You know, these people that invite, they have these big parties and they invite the people they want to impress. You can be wealthy and be humble. Okay, it's happens all the time. Many wealthy people. Now, the person who is acting rich, they're really broke, but they're acting rich, they generally can't be and generally are not philanthropic, meaning they don't help other people. They don't start foundations helping other people. They don't give money because all their stuff is for them. And they don't have enough money to help others because they themselves are so strapped. So humbly build wealth. It is more important for people to know that you are a giving person than a wealthy snob. You know, I love this saying, no one likes a Scrooge McDuck. Now, for those of you who have ever seen Scrooge, you know, the Scrooge McDuck on cartoons, you know, I love this caption. I saw it one time. I love this. May have to get a picture of it sometime and put it up. But he's sitting there in his office, and it's wintertime, and you can tell he's got the toboggan on, and he's hunkered down, and you can tell he's shivering. But what he's doing is he's counting his gold. So he's counting gold, and he's got bags of gold all around him. But when you see his fireplace in the caption, there is barely a big enough fire in the fireplace to even call it a fire. It's really not heating anything because he's sitting a little bit away from it. But what he's doing is he's counting his gold. But he won't even have a big enough fire to keep himself warm. He's not going to spend that money. All he's going to do is hoard it up. I don't encourage people to be broke and live like they're rich, but I also don't encourage people to start building wealth and just pile it up and be a Scrooge McDuck. You know why? Because nobody likes a Scrooge McDuck. If you're wealthy, you can help others to become wealthy. Teach them how you did that, how you became wealthy. That way you can enrich their lives. It's very possible because if you are wealthy, then you know how it's done. Now, I do agree. I get it. Sometimes you will try to help others. Many times, they don't want your help. They don't want to hear that B word. You know, budget. That is a bad word for many people. And you may tell them, listen, I've been on a budget for 30 years and it works. And they're like, I don't want to do that. I just soon be broke. But people assume that I'm rich. I don't want to really have money. I just want to look like I have money. So people need the education. Nobody likes a Scrooge McDuck. So if you're wealthy, you're building wealth, you understand the principles, how to get out of debt, encourage and teach it to others. You can be redneck rich, but you can also help them to be redneck rich. See you on the next video.